My name is Mamoru Aiba. I'm a 26-year-old office employee.
Mr. Aiba, good morning.
Oh, Miss Kusaka. Good morning.
Have a great day at work again today.
Yes! This is Yuki Kusaka. She was my colleague, 1 year older than me. She was a beautiful woman who was always kind to everyone around her. She was always smiling, and I've never seen her angry. And I had a crush on Miss Kusaka. I can't believe Miss Kusaka just spoke to me. I'm so happy. Today's gonna be a good day. Hey, stop dreaming first thing in the morning. You're in the way. I'm sorry. He definitely just bumped me on purpose. There's plenty of space in the aisle. What an obnoxious person. This person was Mr. Hayashi. He was an annoying colleague who seemed to think of me as his enemy. As soon as he could find any information that he could to tease me with, he would go around it to everybody loudly. And if he didn't have any ammunition, then he would come over and directly harass me. He was like a child. It's a good place to work with Miss Kusaka. Because if Mr. Hayashi exists, it's troubling. All I could do was pray that Mr. Hayashi would somehow be transferred to another department. Then one day, I got a phone call from my mom during the lunch break at work. And without thinking, I raised my voice to the news. What? Premature labor?
Don't raise your voice. Aren't you at work right now?
Sorry. So that means that Nanae is in the hospital, right? What's Amy doing?
Ami is at her house for now. Apparently, Nanae told her husband that he doesn't need to come back yet.
I see. I have an older sister 3 years older than me, and she's pregnant with her second child. She's only in her 28th week of pregnancy, but apparently there's a danger of a premature birth. According to what I've heard, they say that the 37th week of pregnancy is when it's finally safe for the baby to be born at any time. Which means that they really want the baby to stay inside of her at this stage. My sister's husband is currently on an overseas business trip. The plan was for him to come back around the time closer to the expected delivery date, so it would probably be difficult for him to come back right now straight away.
Well, before her husband went overseas, we promised them that if anything were to happen, we would help Nanae. So we just need to have Nanae focus on relaxing and getting her health back in line, and we need to focus on Ami.
I'll come over as soon as I'm done with work.
Really? That would be helpful. At first was playing with us and having a good time, but the longer she doesn't see her mom, the sadder she's becoming.
She is only 3 years old after all. Well then, I'll buy some coloring books on the way.
Thanks. See you later.
Alright, I need to hurry up and finish with my work. I was currently living alone in my apartment, but my family home is only 4 stops away on the train, which means that if I wanted to, it would be possible for me to go to work from my family house. I bought a few coloring books to try to cheer up my 3-year-old niece and headed home. I'm home. Sorry. I thought I would stay over for a while, and so I brought a change of clothes and everything, and it got late. Where's Ami? Is she sleeping?
She's not asleep. She's been throwing a tantrum. It's a handful.
Ah, I see. I can only imagine. 'Cause she's always sleeping with her mom. Oh, Mamoru! Help us, please! Ami won't stop crying!
Mommy!
Hey, Ami! I brought you some picture books. Do you want to read them?
Books?
Book about a princess, and a book about a puppy, and a book about a kitty. Which one do you want?
This one.
The book about puppies. Well then, your Uncle Mamoru will read it for you. 30 minutes later. Thank goodness. Although she probably just fell asleep from exhaustion of crying.
Mamoru, perfect timing. It's a phone call from Nanae's husband. He said he wanted to speak to you too.
Oh, sure. My sister's husband was really worried about my sister, the baby she was holding, and Ami. And then he said over and over again to please look after Ami for him. He was a really honest and kind person, and I can only imagine how difficult it was for him that he wasn't able to come home in this situation. I could sense how he felt, and so I wanted to be able to help him in whatever way I could with everything that I had. However, little Ami, she can't understand the reason why she has to be separated from her mother that she was always with. She kept crying and crying for her mommy, and even our hearts were breaking for her. That Saturday...
Ami, I'm sorry. You must be so sad. Mommy, why aren't you home? Mommy, right now, my stomach hurts a lot. That's why I have to stay here for a little bit longer and sleep here. I see. Thank you, Mamoru. Once my situation stabilizes, I'll be able to go home. Do you think I can ask you to look after her a little bit longer?
Of course. It's not good to rush. Make sure you get a lot of rest.
Thanks. I'm gonna buy a couple of things that are necessary and take them back to her. Do you guys want to head home first?
I'm sure Ami is tired, so I'll do that.
Okay. Be careful on the way home.
Yeah. Well then, let's go home, Ami. Ami, let's go home.
I don't wanna.
What?
I wanna be with Mommy!
Ami. When we left the hospital, she didn't cry. I thought that she knew that her mom was in a difficult situation and she gave up. But this is where she's gonna start throwing a tantrum. I desperately tried to calm down Ami as she was crying and screaming on the street, and it was a handful to get her home. In the end, we decided to go buy her toys to try to get her mood back. But by the time we bought the toys and I got home, I was also exhausted. The following week, when I'm done with work, what should I buy on the way home? Or just buying her attention at this point? Wonder if this is really a good solution. Hey, Aiba, you were at the Sekai University Hospital this past Saturday, weren't you? What? Did Mr. Hayashi see me? I didn't know! So, you're married with a kid, aren't you? The other day in the office, I heard you yelling about a premature pregnancy. So, is your wife pregnant with your second in the hospital? Must be hard. No. Your little kid. She didn't even like you at all. She was crying and screaming. Listen. But now that I think about it, you said that you live alone in an apartment, didn't you? Normally, you're living separately. So does your kid hate you? First of all, why are you living separately? This guy doesn't even try to listen to what I'm saying. He just thinks that he's got some good ammunition and does whatever he wants. Don't tell me that you did something terrible to your kid that doesn't stop crying at home. Please stop saying things that sound so awful. Obviously, there's no way I would ever do that. Hey now, don't get so serious and angry and just say that it's not the case when you're getting so heated up about it. Don't you think it's more suspicious? I'm doing my best to support Ami as much as I can. Why does he have to say things like that? And also, the person in the hospital is my sister! That's enough.
That's enough already. Cut it out, Mr. Hayashi.
What? Miss Kusaka?
Do you have no manners? That's obviously not anything that a stranger can just talk about without knowing anything. And plus, no matter how much a kid gets along with their father, any child that can't be with their mother is going to cry.
Miss Kusaka is always warm and smiling. But she's angry? No, but the way that kid was crying. And plus, it's a fact that he's living separately from his family.
And perhaps there's a situation behind that we don't know about, isn't there? It doesn't mean that it's all bad reasons. That's not anything for somebody that doesn't know anything to talk about based off of their imagination.
Although, I'm also finding out for the first time that Mr. Aiba has a family.
Wait, this isn't a time for me to be surprised! If I don't hurry up and deny it, even Miss Kusaka's gonna think that it's my wife that's hospitalized for premature labor! But I'm not even married! Miss Kusaka, actually, the child is...
Mr. Aiba!
Yes?
I don't know anything about you or your child, but it's only a given for a child to be sad when they're separated from their mother.
No.
I'm actually the oldest in my family, and I have 4 younger sisters, and they all already have kids. But I often go over to help out with the kids, so I'm really used to dealing with small children. If you're having any difficulty with your child, I'll go help you. So please tell me whenever you need help.
Wait. Can you please listen for just a moment?
What? Yes?
Look, that child is not my child. She's my older sister's. And the person in the hospital for premature birth is also my sister. What?
What?
My sister's husband is currently on an overseas business trip. So we all agreed that if anything happens to my sister, my parents and I would be the ones to help her. And then, my sister's first child, my niece, is with my parents, and that's where I was helping out. What? Then why didn't you say so? I wanted to explain, but you refused to listen to anything I said!
Yeah, Mr. Aiba was trying to say something the whole time.
Mr. Aiba couldn't even get a second to say anything. And Mr. Hayashi and Miss Kusaka continued on with their story.
But everything that Mr. Hayashi was saying was so awful. What a bad person. Yeah, there's no way I would ever want to go out with somebody that could say things like that. I'm so sorry. I didn't even listen to you and I got ahead of myself.
Oh, not at all! I was really happy you came to my defense, Miss Kusaka. Thanks to Mr. Hayashi refusing to listen to me, Miss Kusaka also misunderstood and thought that I had a child. However, to apologize, she treated me to lunch.
I'm terribly sorry about what happened this morning.
Not at all! Please, don't worry about it anymore. The fact that you stopped Mr. Hayashi really made me happy, and I'm grateful!
In that case, I'm glad. But still, it must be quite difficult to look after your little niece. How old is she right now?
3. And that's why she just can't understand the reason why she has to be separated from her mom. She's been crying and throwing tantrums every single day, and my parents are exhausted.
It really stings the heart when you hear a child crying, even if it's not your own.
Yes.
I mentioned it this morning as well, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews, so I'm pretty confident in my ability with children. If you like, I'd be happy to stand in as somebody to play with her. It might change her mood a little bit to play with somebody different.
I do feel really terrible to ask something like this of you, Miss Kusaka, but would it be okay if I take you up on that?
You can leave it to me.
And so, on the days off from work, Miss Kusaka started coming over to our family house and played with Ami. In the beginning, Ami seemed nervous about this woman that she was seeing for the first time, but Miss Kusaka was so kind and gentle with her that she opened up immediately. Now she loves Miss Kusaka. Miss Kusaka, you would make a great preschool teacher.
My brothers and sisters say the same thing, but I can't play the piano at all, and so I can't sing any of the children's songs. I used to play when I was a kid, but I was so clumsy that even the teacher was tired of me.
Oh, I see. The piano, huh?
Miss Yuki, the picture book. Sure, let's read it together.
Miss Kusaka, she would probably make an amazing mom. Oh, this is bad. After this, I've fallen for even more. Thanks to Miss Kusaka being there, we were hugely helped. On the weekends, Ami seemed really happy, and my parents were finally able to relax. Finally, my sister entered her 35th week of pregnancy. And because her symptoms had become much better, she was able to come home to rest.
Oh, she was discharged! That's so great!
Yes, all that's left is for her to stay at home and try to be as stable as possible so that she can give birth after the 37th week. And my sister's husband's come back, so I think she'll be fine.
So that must mean Ami was able to go home too. I'm glad. But I am a little bit sad that I can't play with her anymore, because I really enjoyed it.
Me too. I'm a bit sad as well. Recently, I was always looking forward to the time that I'd get to see Ami play with you. Miss Kusaka,
Yes?
would you like to go on a date with me sometime?
A date?
To tell you the truth, I had a crush on you from before Miss Kusaka. When you got angry with Mr. Hayashi for me and watching you play with Ami to help us, my feelings for you only became stronger. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to get to know you a lot better.
In that case, yes, please.
Are you sure?
Yes, because I also feel the same way as you, Mr. Aiba.
And so we went on a number of dates together, and we began our relationship. And that happened just before I was about to get the news from my sister that she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Not long after that, Miss Kusaka, Yuki, and I went together to hand our celebratory gift to my sister. But Nanae only thanked Yuki over and over again. Apparently, Ami had told my sister all about Yuki and how much they played together. When I told them that Yuki and I began dating, both my parents and Nanae and her husband were all thrilled. As for Mr. Hayashi, ever since the day that he angered Miss Kusaka, all of the female employees started to shun him, and he completely calmed down. Apparently, he's going to be transferred, but the rumor is that he requested the transfer himself. He was trying to take me down. He ended up massively taking himself down instead. I guess he should learn the lesson that taking actions to belittle others only lessens your value and belittles yourself.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.